Namaste, everyone. Hi, and welcome to this channel, Dimensions of Love. Welcome, welcome. So wonderful that you're here. 2023. We're still in hibernation. We're still in this resting mode. And we just wanted to, we've had a few downloads about the 2023, and we wanted to share them with you. And I apologize for the light and the location right now. We're using the light from the outside to not interrupt our third eye with different lightings inside of the house and light rings. And it's winter time, so there's not much light, unfortunately. So this is what we're working with now. I hope that the quality of the video is still good and you can see us. So let's just start with these 2023 predictions. So we're writing them down because they're few, and let's just start off by taking a deep breath and just grounding ourselves, because we're still in this resting mode. I still feel myself being in this resting mode of not being fully energized and back out there. And I want to honor myself by staying calm and rested and listening to the body, allowing myself to have this rest. But equally, this is also something that I felt called to do from spirit, and I take this very seriously. So when I receive downloads through my meditation, daily practices, even though that I as a person am resting with this body, I also get access to spirit's energy, which is unlimited. So I know that this energy that I'm giving today is an energy that will be filling me back up. While if I'm in the person doing this, I would be drained because I will be given away. So I'm not doing that. I'm honoring myself, and so should you too. If you are in a situation where you feel drained, whoever needs to hear this, it just came through, that it is okay for you to take a step back and retreat to yourself. It's not always easy. When you have children, for an example, that can be very difficult because they're very demanding and it takes a lot of energy. But I would still say try to take that time and find a little quiet time for yourself, because it's important. And the same thing if you're having to work at this time and not having any free time, also to just take that 5-minute break of shutting your eyes and just breathing. It does really make a difference. So that was for someone. And so let's just get into all of these predictions and downloads that has been coming up. And we're not going to talk so much about signs, because if you're a returning viewer, you know that we're also using the tools of divination. So we're using tarot cards to just help us with images and to make it a little bit light and fun, because ascensions and awareness and just growing in that can be quite painful. So it's nice to have a little bit, be a little bit like childlike, stay in that wonderful exploration more than pushing and forcing, being more childlike, I would say. So if you all know that, we will talk about the tarot cards. I have some here. I will do this at the end of this video, so you can just click past that if you don't want to look. And for all of your likes and shares, and I wasn't expecting anything, because if I could have one person to help them grow or not go through a painful journey the same way as our experience has been. That alone is a gift. So seeing so many subscribers and likes and comments, and you're just so amazing, and we're doing this together, it is just as much as an honor, because as we said, this is a channel of love, and if we can share this love and grow this love, and this can be something beneficial for everyone. I mean, it's so wonderful. It not only benefits us, you as a viewer, it also benefits everything around us. So this energy is amazing, and I'm honored to share these gifts that I have. And I have multiple gifts, and of course, if you have more, you should share all of them. So that's why I'm using this divination at the end of this video, so that you can hear these channel messages. And for our returning viewers, this divination will be at the end. We just want to talk a little bit of it, just touch upon it, but more of that later. Let's just go through this list because it's a lot. So just to touch upon it, we are connecting with the sign Taurus, which is very earthly, and is talking about stability, wealth, and simplicity. So this wanting to make everything very simple, but yet to be very wealthy in however you will define wealth in your sense. This is the sign that we are connecting to at this time. And we can see these differences happening throughout the world. So this is the first prediction. Bitcoins and other currency and different assets that we have will be different this year, because the government will try to rule as much as possible, but there will be so many different types of earnings, and that you can also convert into different earnings, that it will be quite impossible to be tracked. And therefore, the whole financial system will change. They talk about recession and that it will go bad, which don't worry about that, because it's not the truth. Please don't listen to news, because they will just install fear into you and kind of low vibrational. So please don't do that. I'm just going to move that one. It's a little bit too smoky now. Excuse me. So I would say, I apologize for that. I would say don't listen to any outside source that are saying that. Just generally don't listen to the news. It's really fake news, and it's not beneficial for us. It's always negative. You know, news should be news. It shouldn't be mostly negative news. I mean, we want to hear good news as much as we want to hear bad news. But the way that the news are so corrupted now, it's just negative news, and that creates a lower state in our frequency in our day-to-day lives. So just don't start your day by watching news. That would be very good. And just allow all of this new to enter. Don't be in this fear-based of believing that this new currencies are not good, or they're not valid, and this recession will happen. So just trust that this is a matrix, and all of these other assets are introduced because we as a collective are rising and noticing that, hey, we don't want to have a central bank system. We don't want to have some people controlling all of us, where to go, how to go, and what to do. We are free individuals, and we are powerful. So the more this control is happening now, it's because we are being more and more free. And we will talk more about these signs, because we have both Taurus and Capricorn, but also Saturn is changing his flavor and is being more soft. Saturn is very restrictive, And now Saturn in our downloads feels like it's changed a lot in its energy. It has a different approach. I've always felt, because I'm connected a lot with Saturn, that you can never get away from Saturn. Saturn like will always haunt you, but you can make Saturn uh, back off from you, kind of sense. But this energy right now is the planet Saturn is changing. It has a more soft approach in the sense that we can use it more in a beneficial way. So Saturn is kind of showing a new flavor to themselves that I haven't seen before, which is quite interesting, but we'll go more into that in depth in our other videos. This is much information, so please, if you want to look deeper into this information and know more, do so. We're just reading off of the energy, and there's so many topics, and the mind can't just have all of that downloads, and we're trying to catch up, and some of these things are completely new to us as a person. So to keep up with this while we're in this resting mode, that's why we have some of them written down in front of us so we don't lose them. Otherwise, you know how we work. We just, when we talk to you, we just let it flow naturally how it wants to. But at this time, we can't do that. So I just want to be honest, because this channel is about honesty and being authentic. So this is my authentic self being here and speaking. So this is in real time, real energy exchange. So what is also important at the beginning of this January month, we need to be very careful what we say and how we speak. From which place are we speaking of? And we need to also recognize that all of the people that we are seeing publicly in workplaces, we all come from different areas and perceptions. So at this time in January, when everyone's coming back, just be more of a listener than to talk, and try to understand the other person. And I'm not saying that you should water yourself down. Always be who you are, but it's better if you're just more reserved and quiet and more listening so you can understand, because just be cautious at this month with that, and know where you stand before you do this. Next thing we want to talk about is this energy, because there is energy entering this January month that is firing forward, and we just want you to listen closely to this, because if you are aiming at a target too fast, you might miss the target. And if you miss the timing, you might just mess it up completely. So please, 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 if you're watching this video, don't mess up anything, because just like maybe you haven't had birth, but it's sometimes we contract right before we push out. So we don't push all the time when you pushing out a baby. It happens, contraction happens, and then you can feel when you're supposed to push. And another analogy can be when you're pulling back the arrow, okay? So you're supposed to shoot it at the target and you're pulling it back, so you're contracting it back. And so before you let it go, before you let it fly, make sure that, and this is energetically speaking, you might not physically actually holding a bow, not like that, but energetically, whatever it is, work, family, or what your goals are for this year, pull them back, hold them contracted, and just focus on the aim. Don't focus on shooting anything anywhere. Just focus on the aim. And we can't say or predict the future. We can just feel the temperature of the energy. Use your intuition when you need to let go. And remember, it will be all about timing. I feel like it's more March. I feel March, April is more the beginning of people letting their arrow go to the target and it actually hitting the target. So at that time, if you're watching this video, is your confirmation to go for it more in that time. At this time, January, February, I will not give any suggestions to anyone, or yeah, don't do anything at these 2 months if you can. So keep that in mind. Try to hold it back as much as possible before letting it go. So there will be, the third thing is that there will be a lot of demands from the outside world, but you need to stay balanced with your self-care and maintain this balance of the outside demands and your inner self-care. So the prediction are saying that this year it will be difficult to hold that balance, because it will be you doing too much outside of yourselves, because a lot of people will require that, or that you will be completely inside of yourself, that there will be no balance. So try to keep that balance, because we have so much earthly energies. So 1 foot in and 1 foot out kind of year. The fourth thing is no more wasting energy on people that don't understand you. See, if they don't understand you, we can say this because this has happened to us so many times, and you want to explain, and you keep on explaining and just hoping that the person or the people will understand where you're coming from, but they can't. And so you're just wasting this energy of explaining, and you're just lowering your frequency. Because the moment that you start to explain yourself to someone, already there you should recognize that this person is not vibrationally aligned with me. Therefore, the more that I will speak now is the more that my vibration will just lower and lower itself down. So maintain your vibration by being very, very self-conscious of when you are in a situation and you feel this person is not understanding. Don't force them to understand. Let them have their experience, but do not waste your energy there. Okay, so do not waste your energy. It was very clear from spirit. Don't waste your energy to lower your frequency. And we ask in our meditation, why is this so important? And what came through was, if you're expecting to meet your spirit family, so this energy frequency that matches your, how can you do that if you are somewhere where the energy doesn't match and you're lowering your frequency? Your people cannot find you, and there are entities and energies preventing you that has already split us up just for that reason, for us to not connect, because we're so powerful when we're conscious together, that when you're there, you will have more of this lower energy frequencies coming through. It's people, situations that just want to lower your vibration, so you cannot find your people. So this year, it's so important that you stay in your vibrational alliance in yourself, and that you allow these people to think that you're different, or why aren't you not speaking? I mean, don't explain. Just you feel when, okay, here I have to over explain, I'm just going to stop. I'm not doing it. Just stop, you know? You don't have to explain why you stop. It's just, I have a sore throat. I don't have nothing more to say. Like, you can say it in a polite way if it's in a working setting. If it's in a relationship that is maybe with families or close ones, I would say it's nice to say, I really love you, and I care for you, but I have to step back a little bit and just look inward to myself. just for these couple of months, or whatever you choose to say. Follow your heart and know that you will never be strained in a different direction. When you follow your heart, you will always be in the direction that you need to be in. So that was that download that came with that. So please try to stay in your frequency. Just hold that alignment as much as possible. You know, we're not perfect all the time, and sometimes we slip, and sometimes we over explain, and there we are again. But if you can just recognize yourself that you're there again, just pick yourself back up and keep moving forward, because you deserve to have a 2023 that's amazing, right? You already know that. I mean, all of you that are viewing this video are already well aware of that. What has been going on has been not so real, not so authentic, and we're looking for realness now. We don't want to look for anything that's fake anymore. We're not buying that anymore. It doesn't feel right. I almost get this feeling that we get disgusted when someone is not authentic, because we can feel it so clearly that it just it brings that kind of feeling. So that tells me that we feel collectively very sick of this fake facade that's been going on. We don't want it anymore. Next point we want to bring up is, don't run away from your true self. And here we had an epiphany of understanding that you can always run away from the one that's fake inside of you. You can always run away from that. But the true self, you can never run away from it, because wherever you will turn, you will be there. So you can't escape yourself. So embrace yourself instead. There's nowhere to run. Just stop and embrace yourself. I felt that energy together here. Yeah. Thank you. I feel your energies. So the next point is, follow what is good for you. Okay? Most important, what is in line with your intuition. So if you have this year, if something doesn't feel right, whatever people, or sometimes our parents can push us to be something, and we're doing it because they want to do it, but we truly don't know, because it's just become a habit of wanting to please everyone else, or the society, or the community, that we tend to just brush away this feeling of it doesn't sit right with me. So in 2023, if it doesn't sit right with you, don't do it. And the energy will support you. It will support you. So this is the year where you can actually feel supported in all of this. So don't do it. It might cause friction here and there, but if you're just calm and collected, it will dissolve itself. But you need to stay calm and collected, because there will be a lot happening this 2023. And if you're watching this video, you're already somewhere grounded in yourself. So just keep on working and doing this inner work in yourself, and know that when we are working with the energy, it's not about escaping the difficult parts, because we can't escape them. It's about allowing them to happen, to have this resilience, to keep letting every emotion, everything that wants to arise in every given moment, so it can be cleared out, instead of suppressing it when it happens. to just let it pass through you. Remember that you are none of these things. They're just passing through you. Let them pass through you. So the theme of this year is also death and resurrection. And sometimes when we are in this spiritual path, we believe that, okay, I'm going to die and then I'm resurrecting like a phoenix, and that's that. It's done. It doesn't quite work like that, because this resurrection and death happens many times. For some, it could be 3, 5. For some, it could be hundreds. But every time, if this is your first time that you're feeling this death is occurring, it can be very, very difficult. Like, this is the only time this will happen. But as time moves and you'll go through these deaths and rebirths that keep on happening, you'll get used to that energy. Okay, it's happening now again. Something is being released, a new version is being born here. So just allow that to happen. And however it is in your experience, remember, we all have our unique experiences here, and we all have our blueprints. So don't just trust anyone else what they're saying, also trust in yourself. And we've mentioned this before, we want to touch upon this again, that traumas will be healed so much faster with the energy coming in 2023. So if this was a past trauma that could have taken years to heal, at this time when we're healing the traumas, the energies are moving so fast, the traumas will be healed twice the time. And that's wonderful, that we don't have to suffer so much in it. That's a wonderful gift from the universe, gifting it to us, because we are raising our frequency and we are all awakening. And the more we are awakening and working with spirit and the higher realms, we are getting gifts, because the universe just wants to gift us. We've been so suppressed in this lower state that we've been not allowing ourselves to receive this gift. And now we're stepping into this unity, understanding that we're connected to Earth. We are connected to the animals. We are connected to what we eat. Everything is connected. And when we are taking care of each other in this way, we're always getting gifts from the universe, taking care of us back. So this is a wonderful affirmation for us, knowing that the healing will be so much more beneficial to us. And a lot of alternative healing, Spirit was talking about alternative healing being bigger than ever now, because people will find themselves not just trusting doctors and just someone else's opinion, but trusting themselves and what they specifically need to do with their healing journey. So that is wonderful, that we're taking the healing in our own hands. And I'm truly sending everyone prayers here through this video that are still suffering with something. I want you to know that when we suffer and when the body is sick and when we're flushing out this old energy and they're coming up with all of these diseases, there's nothing wrong, as in the old religion that are saying that you've done something bad, that's why you suffer, everything is falling apart around you because you deserved it. It doesn't work like that. Energy lets everything fall apart if it needs to be rebuilt in a better way. It's a cause and effect of what we do. And even though if we don't want to take responsibility of that, it's still, we were unconscious when we were operating there. It doesn't mean that you're bad in any way. There's so many different angles of going into this healing situation for us all. So don't ever think that you're suffering because you deserve it. Nobody deserves to suffer. So to anyone that has someone around them that's suffering, whether it's mentally, physically, I'm sending my prayers out to you from my heart. And just know that a prayer is very powerful. It doesn't have to be conventional. It's just this prayer of sending each other light to lift us up. So that got a little bit heavy. So there's one question you can ask yourself. Instead of asking this year, I want that, I want this, I want that job, I want this amount of money, I want this to work in this way, I want this relationship, I want my children, I want my family. Instead of that, the only question you need to ask yourself this year is, what do I need? What do I need? And the more you know yourself, the more you will not ask other people to help you with. Because if someone doesn't know themselves, they cannot help you. You need to understand that this is your journey. So ask yourself, what do I need? I mean, for an example, it can be so simple. Your house, everything that you have in your house. Think about one thing in your house right now that you have, that you haven't used in a year. It's just staying there and doing nothing. And ask yourself, do I need that? Just simple, very simple, and simple step for everyone to take. Just that little thing. And if we can think about other steps, do you have more things that are the same? Do I really need all of them? Do I need all of them? And just removing all of them, selling them, giving them away, whatever you're doing, just lighten that burden and come back to this energy of this year. We want simplicity. We are reevaluating what wealth truly is. So stay in that energy and just do the simple step. That's all. Sometimes it's the most simplest thing that can change so much. And always remember, the more that you change on the inside, the more your outside will reflect your changes on the inside. So you don't have to force anything to happen. Remember, we are like nature. We are connected. This bodysuit came from Mother Earth. It came from these elements of this earth. That means that it is working in the same cycles of this earth. We posted a video about this winter rest. Check out that video, because in that video we are talking about just this, about the Gregorian calendar that we're all following and how it doesn't go in the cycles of who we truly are, because this is more of a resting period. If you look at the trees, they're resting. Nature is resting before spring starts and everything starts to move. So nothing is moving still. If you look, and if you have the luxurious of having seasons, because someone maybe watching is living in a hot place or in a cold place the whole year. But if you have the luxury of living in a place where you have all the 4 seasons, you can kind of tune into that and feel and see, wow, right now it is not hot, it is cold, everything is sleeping, there is no awakening yet. So then to stay with that and to integrate that with your body, waking up with that, that will make you more powerful, that will make you more in sync, that will heighten your intuition. So work with the cycles and of your body and where you are. It will be so beneficial for you all. So thank you for being here throughout this video. It was a very long video. Thank you for listening. We will make a separate video about the year. It's the year 7. So you multiply 2023, which is 2 plus 2 plus 3, which equals 7. So it's the 7th year, and that number 7 holds a specific energy. that we want to talk more about, because Spirit has been saying that it's a very significant year. So we're going to do a separate video on that, because that would be a very, very long video here. And forward, with Spirit, we've been asked to work with the moon cycles. And because the moon is connected to the feminine, and the feminine energy is rising so much now, we're taking back the feminine power within our all selves. And that is balancing the masculine, not to be over in the ego. So this is a beautiful shift, but the feminine needs to be brought back. And working with the moon cycles, since the moon is feminine, we can work more deeply. And I will tune in my meditation to get further information of how to give you these videos about the moon, but it will be new moons or full moons. And our previous year, we kind of started with the moon videos, and I did not know why I was doing the moon videos until Spirit just, it kind of brings it in as we go. So sometimes I don't know how things fold out. But I hope that this video, because this was an information video really, and with intuition of feeling your energies also, which is always happy moment. And this year, when we are working with our true selves, our higher selves, please make sure that every video that you're watching, that you're using your own discernment. And even if you're watching some videos, and I'm not saying anything bad about anyone making videos, I love everyone that are promoting good health and information that can further us into this discovery of our true self. And it's a whole new territory in that way. So please look, but use your discernment, because sometimes speakers, even though that they are giving this information free to you, they're not seeing that they're actually taking also. And we want you to know, throughout our videos, we've mentioned this before, and we will never stop mentioning this, that every time that your energy is here, this is a discovery we're doing together. So the moment that this video ends and you're standing in your energy, you are going to feel empowered and beautiful, and you will have your energy. So I'm not taking your energy. I'm not using anything to just, because we can do it consciously or unconsciously, but I just want you to know I would never use your energy in any way. And I truly honor you, and I want you to be empowered in the greatest way that you can. So on this channel, it will just be love, and we're growing it together. We're watering this channel together, and we are helping everyone else to feel that energy and to feel that they can feel protected in a place. So that is all that we want to say about this energy. We're not taking anything away from you. Everything that is yours will be yours, and everything that is mine will be mine. So that we know that we have these differences that we can admire in one another. And your energy will never be used in any shape or form that will harm the self, the collective, or anyone else. It's very important for us and for you to know that. We want you to really, really, really use your discernment and take care of yourself, even if you're listening to us. I mean, we really want you to trust yourself mostly. That's the whole purpose of this channel. Trust yourself and trust love. Because when we are in love, we are trusting one another. When we're not working from love and from ego, we're not only trusting each other, we're also harming each other. And that is not where we're going. Not with this channel, not with the energy of the collective. So, yeah, that was those points that we wanted to say. And let's just jump into these cards. So we're going to talk about these tarot cards, the sevens, and this is the main energy of this time that we're in. So this is the main energy. This is the Seven of Pentacles. And we can see how he's looking at these pentacles. We'll make a more depth video about this. But he's looking at these pentacles as like he's disappointed. But there's nothing to be disappointed at because the energy is moving slow. Remember, like the cycles, like everything, don't rush it. What this card is saying with the energy of the number 7 and of this card is saying there's no need to rush. You don't have to rush it. This is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful that it is going slowly. And he's feeling disappointed, like nothing has happened, but actually Spirit knows that a lot has happened. There is a lot behind that pile that he doesn't see, which is in his subconscious that he's been working with also, which is connected to our higher self. So we can't see that, but in the earthly plane, he wants to see it. He wants it to be manifested, and it will be, because the number 7 in the tree of life is very low down. So it's almost at the bottom of the tree of life, which is saying it's close to manifestation. So we're very close to manifesting everything, but this work needs to be slow, steady. That is how it will be mostly fruitful. So don't pluck that fruit before it is ready or ripe, okay? Because it will not taste good, right? So this is what this card is talking to us about. And we were asking yesterday, please show us more about the 7s. And this is the original Rider-Waite, the 7. We draw this card, the 7. And we ask Spirit to show us in the dream state what this card really meant. And it was very disturbing because there were a lot of entities dressing up as family member and just being very distorted and very, very tricky. So it was describing to us in the lower frequencies now, if you will experience this year, it will be a lot of deception and trickery and hardships because of these entities not wanting you to step into your power. If you've already stepped into your power, so if you're already there, you know that you've done the work, you're constantly trying to better yourself, then Spirit is saying in a higher plane that you are being protected. You see, they can't even touch her, like they're trying, but Spirit is standing behind this. So she doesn't really have to do anything because she is naturally protected because of where she stands. So Spirit is protecting you. You are being protected here. This was what the card was saying to us. But we also felt the collective that was going through it in the moments where they maybe thought that they made a good decision, but it wasn't really a good decision, and they end up hurting a lot of people, and they were conscious of it. It's going to be so difficult there. And we felt that confusion, that how these entities were playing with the people, and just be very careful about that, we'll say, because you can't do it alone. So even if this card was like this, it is still saying that you can't do it alone. We can't do it alone. We do this inner work alone, but also here in this card 7 is saying that we are going to collaborate with other people. We will understand our unity and work with each other and try to meet each other where we are. Because you can't do it alone. We can't. Sometimes we wish we could, but we can't. We need each other. We're a social being. That's what we do. So connecting with your tribe, holding your vibration, this will be very beneficial. Again, this talk was very long. We hope that these messages will help you in 2023. We'll make sure to do more videos for you guys. And until then, we wish you the best And thank you for being here. Namaste. Always sending love your way. Bye, everyone.